With the McLaren W1 coming out last October and the Ferrari F80 coming out not too long after, it's easy to wonder just how better than they are than the previous generations. Ferrari and McLaren has released their new hypercars, the F80 and the W1. Waiting on the Porsche 918 Spider, now we're seeing a holy trinity of hypercars. And since the legendary titles has been passed down to the Ferrari F80 and the McLaren W1, just how legendary are they to their successors? And which one actually takes the crown in performance compared to their previous generation? The Ferrari F80, and this all comes down to engines, with the Ferrari having a 3-liter V6 and the McLaren W1 having a 4-liter twin-turbo V8. Which of these new hypercar successors is better in performance? Both the Ferrari F80 and the McLaren W1 have a serious punch, and especially hybrid powertrains, but they take slightly different approaches. Ferrari opts for a 3-liter V6 twin-turbo, and the McLaren W1 goes for a 4-liter twin-turbo V8. Now in thought, the McLaren beats out the Ferrari with 1,258 horsepower, compared to the F80's 1,183, but that isn't exactly lacking in power. But in the world of hypercars, having the most horsepower is what matters. The W1 also benefits from 988 pound-feet of torque, while the Ferrari offers 626 pound-feet of torque from its V6. And has an additional 122 pound-feet of torque in its electric motors. Where Ferrari really takes the cake is its 0 to 60 miles per hour. The F80 clocks in a shocking 2.15 seconds, half a second quicker than the W1's 2.7 seconds. The Ferrari's all-wheel drive system, which includes 2 electric motors on the front axles, gives the win off the line acceleration when it comes to top speed. Though it's a tie, the F80 and W1 can't hit the top of 217 miles per hour. And also in the world of hypercars, it's all about how electric motors can support combustion engine, and both Ferrari and McLaren has taken this way. Ferrari has 2 electric motors, which is crazy, 2 in the front and 1 in the back, contributing an additional 295 horsepower. The McLaren, on the other hand, uses a module that generates 342 horsepower that's mounted on its transmission. But the question is, who really wins this? While the McLaren wins on overall horsepower, Ferrari's hybrid system is more complex but more efficient. The F80 borrows heavily from its Ferrari's racing technology, particularly from the Le Mans 499P car. This design helps Ferrari maximize their performance without sacrificing drivability, especially in turns and corners. But on the other hand, McLaren's simpler hybrid setup and its W1 focus on brute force in its design and straightforward, which is an emphasis on delivering raw, unfiltered speed. Whether you prefer the advanced hybrid tech of the Ferrari or the McLaren, more streamlined approach largely depends on your driving experience and preference. But if you're driving it, how good are the turns? How good is the driving? And it all comes down to the vehicle's weight. While these are hypercars and don't weigh much, they still weigh. And weight is a critical factor for any hypercar, especially one loaded with hybrid batteries and tech on its front. McLaren takes a victory while weighing 3,084 pounds for the W1, compared to the Ferrari's 3,336 pounds. This makes the W1 lighter and technically more agile around tight corners. Though the Ferrari F80 may be heavier, but its sophisticated all-wheel drive system helps with that extra weight. The added weight also means more downforce, especially when hitting at higher speeds. Ferrari claims 2,204 pounds of downforce at 155 miles. McLaren achieves the same number, though at a higher speed of 174 miles. So the lighter one here is McLaren. McLaren is lighter and potentially more agile than Ferrari, but the Ferrari has more stability, especially at higher speeds. But when it comes to the look of these and how aerodynamic they are, both cars are often stunning with designs that can reflect cutting-edge technology. The Ferrari F80 features a radical wedge-like design that draws inspiration from their Formula 1 history, particularly with the aggressive-looking front and the butterfly doors. Though this design has been different for Ferrari, some fans have been more critical of the F80 styling. But personally, you can see where they're going. And McLaren's W1 is no less good looking. Its angular design and the signature rear wing gives it a more futuristic appearance for a hypercar, while the roof scoop and the gull-wing doors actually pays homage to McLaren's racing history. McLaren keeps things relatively familiar, but uniquely enough to make the W1 stand out. A redesigned steering wheel, a new digital display ensure that the driver is always connected to the vehicle. Now, and both cars are stunning, but there's one vehicle that seems to be on everybody's mind, and that is the Porsche Mission X, coming soon. And we could see possibly the Holy Trinity back once again. Thank you for watching.